Hello and welcome to Hold the Line Sports, where we do the work so you don't have to. So I decided to go back and count, and we are currently on episode 32 of this particular podcast, dating back to when we first started college football. So going forward, I might add that into the intro so our audience knows how dedicated to the craft we are and have been since like the fall.
Yes,
Very exciting
before
stuff.
college football. So
Most groups don't make it that far, so we've beaten the odds, fellas. Episode 32. It
Taking
has
us
been
through a
a
lot.
it's been a blast up to this point. Today, if I had to guess, I would say will not be a super long episode. I say that, but I'm always wrong. But we'll see. So we're gonna do an awards prediction episode. Our manager of logistics, Will, the professor, has assembled a selection of categories for us to vote on. If I'm not mistaken, it should be like 12 or so awards, give or
I
take.
can't count that high, so I don't know.
Yeah, well, I get it. It's going to be around there. So we're going to have a pick for each one, along with kind of like our basic reasoning. At the end of the season, we'll see how close we got. Will, no need to delay it any further. If you are ready, I will let you introduce the categories.
Let's do it. So we'll just go one by one. I won't even. We'll surprise them with the categories later. We'll just
Understood.
jump right into the first one.
I'm fine doing that as well.
So first one, we're just gonna go chalk on this one. It's the MVP of each league, AL, NL. We'll start with we'll switch up the order again. We'll go Cam and then Nate and then me. So Cam, who is your AL MVP?
Man, so there were I think in the NL there's like a really easy answer, and then you got to be creative if you want to have something else. AL, I really feel like it's a little bit more of a toss up. Obviously, there's favorites. I'm gonna go somewhat outside the box, but not like too far. I'm gonna go with Bobby Witt Jr. From what he provides, I think again, if the Royals are gonna make like another one of those runs, I think the pitching is gonna take a step back. So I think it's gonna be on Bobby Witt to really become a mainstay as a superstar in the league. I'll tell you after you guys go who I almost went with, just to make you mad, Will. But I am going to go with, you're probably going to guess, but I'm going to go with Bobby Witt. I think he has a standout year this year.
Nate, who you got?
Yeah, I'm gonna keep it very simple, straight to the point. I'm gonna go Aaron Judge. I know it's basic, but I think he's just gonna have another standout year. I mean, dude's consistently good. I don't see him falling off this year.
Yeah, I also went Bobby Witt Jr. because I think he's going to go 30-30, potentially 40-40. So plus 300 odds there and AL MVP. For Cam's point, you have to have a good full season to win MVP. So I don't think he can do it strictly because the first 3 to 4 months of the year he will not do anything.
I honestly, I it hasn't happened yet, but we're talking about Julio Rodriguez. So that I was like so close to going with that because I mean the tools are there, dude. Like that cannot be denied. When he is like firing on all cylinders, he is a super high end player. But to your point, it is generally in August and September when that happens.
I also think
But
the
I was
climate does not help him at all.
It doesn't help. He does play premier position defensively, so his wins above replacement overall would be on the higher side regardless. Just in case there's a little bit of a lack in like terms of like slugging percentage and OPS and stuff like that. He could make up some ground there, but again, it's got to be a full season, which he has not done yet, and that would make. What's his odds, by the way? Do you have like odds for Julio Rodriguez MVP?
Yeah, it's plus 1,800 right now, which I mean it's decent value.
Serious value. Some serious value
The
there.
the one thing that gets me to Bobby Witt as well is that he also plays a premier defensive and
For sure.
was the best defending shortstop in baseball last year. So
sure. Well, I did pick him, so
and
I think
yeah,
he's what you said he was plus 300.
Yeah, he's on my end. He's technically the betting favorite right now. Probably strictly
Dang.
because I think Aaron Judge should be, but I think just strictly because the Yankees have had so much go on in the past 2 to 3 weeks that people are starting to think, okay, this team might not make the playoffs. So I think
That's
Aaron
fair
Judge
because
might not win MVP. But
I was on DraftKings, and I think DraftKings, but I looked a while ago, And I think Judge was the favorite. It was like plus 250 at the time. So
He should be.
He's
Like,
plus 310 on DraftKings and is the betting favorite.
yeah,
Witt's
on mine, it's
450 over here.
it's Bobby. But I mean, I think it should be Judge. I mean, he won it last year, and baseball is the one sport you can win MVP and not make the playoffs because ultimately it's the most team oriented sport. Because as we've seen with Mike Trout, it doesn't matter how good you are, you cannot make the playoffs unless your team is good.
That is
So
correct.
yeah, we can go on to NL MVP. Feel like it's a fairly easy choice, but Cam, who's your NL MVP?
The easy choice is Shohei Ohtani. One of you two is going to say it, so I will choose some value, and I'm going to go with Bryce Harper. I think the Phillies are in a position to make some noise again. I think he's right at home at first base. I think he's like Gold Glove caliber first base. He's a super good athlete, anyways. He is like loving Philly. I think this is like a year where he can put it all together again. He's done it before, so I mean, I don't see why not. As long as he stays healthy, doesn't have any of those like nagging injuries that he tends to deal with throughout the course of a year, I think he's a fairly logical choice if you're looking for some value.
Yeah, again, I'm going to go basic with Shohei Ohtani.
Yeah.
I mean, I just don't see a way he loses it unless he just falls apart, which is not going to happen. So,
Yeah, he is the easy choice. I have also gone Shohei Ohtani. If this if his teammate Mookie Betts had not been sick and lost like I think like 25 pounds before the season started, I think he would have some crazy value at plus 1200. I would go him because I want to say wasn't he it was either last year or the year before. I think he was leading in MVP and then he got injured and kind of just derailed his season. So he didn't win it obviously. But I think if without that situation going on right now, I would go Mookie, but I just
Um,
think it's Shohei.
I don't want to go like off the rails in terms of like topic discussion, but since you brought up Mookie, he is down to 157 pounds. I've played the course of a college season multiple times, and it was only like 50 something games when I played, right? And I lost 15 pounds every season I played. If he is starting a year at one, granted, their nutrition programs are like way better than mine, but you will lose weight throughout the course of a season no matter who you are. So if he's starting a season at 157 pounds, like that is like actually concerning if he doesn't put some weight back on.
Yeah, I think you will. I mean, because ultimately, like he says he hasn't been able to keep solid food down. So like once he's able to do that, I think he'll be able to obviously put some weight back on. I don't know if he'll get back to what he was because you know he is starting behind the punch because I mean he's down that much and the season starts Thursday. So,
Yeah.
but
I mean, his
I,
playing weight's like 175, 180
yeah,
regardless. Like he's a hard gainer. He doesn't like he's not gonna be a super massive guy. 150, that's what I graduated high school at. As 150 like 155 pounds. I mean, I mean, if any they're in the professional scene, so like they will be taken care of, but I would be worried that it will take him like a month to get up to get like back to feeling good on the baseball field.
honestly, yeah, me too. That's why I think I've kind of gone away from him. I mean, honestly, like the Dodgers are so good. I know he wants to play, but I think you take it slow with him because one, I think right now I don't even think they're worried about getting him on the baseball field. They're worried about his literally his health in general
Literally, it's got
because
to come first.
a guy never loses 25 pounds this quickly, this rapidly, hasn't been able to keep food down, and
Yeah.
isn't like actually like something's wrong. So I think, and the Dodgers are the one team that can afford to be like, okay, we can manage without Mookie for a
Yep.
little bit,
Yep.
even though it is a big hit, obviously. So I guess we can move on to now our Rookie of the Year predictions. Who is your AL Rookie of the Year?
So I've kind of started this narrative with the Rangers and the trajectory I think they're going to go. So I'm going to lean into Kumar Rocker as my rookie of the year. He's kind of solidified a spot in the rotation, had a really good spring, which I was like, that was kind of like what was holding me back. Like, let's see how he looks in the spring. Put up some good numbers, looked really strong. I think if he has a full season, he will be a big part of the reason why they are successful, stabilizing kind of like that mid end of the rotation. So I'm going to go Kumar.
Yeah, so my AL is going to be Jason Dominguez. I know we've seen him play a little bit with the Yankees the past couple years, but one thing I'm expecting from him, I'm not really expecting the guy to come out hit 250, 300, whatever, but he's going to get a lot of big hits, a lot of home runs. He's going to come up in some big moments for them, and I really think he's going to do well there. And I think the biggest worry though is like, is he going to hang around? Like if he is struggling a little bit, what are they going to do with him? I think that is the one slightest worry I have about him. Because I could honestly see him not playing up a full season if he's still hitting 207, 210. But
He has scared me a little bit, to be honest. He
Yeah,
hasn't
that's
really,
fair.
really looked that good, but
That's
if
fair.
he hits how he can, I'm looking at the home run numbers more than anything for him.
yeah, I mean, he's definitely got the talent for sure. My guy, I think we've mentioned him before, but my guy's plus 800 to win it. Jacob Wilson for the Athletics. I think he's going to be a good shortstop, hit for a ton of average. I mean, like, usually we don't see a ton of rookies hit over 300. I think this guy genuinely has the chance to. He may not, hit for much pop, but say he gets to even double digit home runs and hits over 300. That's going to be tough to beat by anyone, to be honest, because usually we don't see rookies have that much success. I mean, obviously, you got your Dominguez, your Roman Anthony, I think Jackson Jobe has a shot as well. But I think Jacob Wilson can realistically hit 300 and get to double digit bombs and play a
Um,
solid shortstop.
I also have a like dark horse under the radar rookie of the year, like a value play. Kumar's kind of a value play, to be fair.
Yeah.
Travis Bazzara for the Guardians is another one that I'm keeping my eye on. Saw his swing in some batting practice, watched him work in the cages. That thing plays. I think he's going to have he might be a player as well as the year goes on.
He's very good. I just worry about him getting up. I think they might wait till like June, July.
I think it's May. I think it's going to be May. And if it's May, I think he's got a shot, which this is why it's like a kind of a value, like down the road pick. But like for me, it's like a don't be surprised if kind of scenario.
I mean, yeah, I can see him. And there's another guy that from the same draft class that kind of showed out this spring as well, and Jack Caglione. But I think they'll both be up June, July ish. Potentially, I think Caglione comes up after because I think he's a little more raw. Um, I think he comes up. I think he's a September call up. I think for
Yeah.
Caglione, especially because I think the Royals will also be in the race for the division and in the playoffs. Unless, I mean, obviously barring injuries, these guys could get up super quickly.
Sure.
But assuming health,
That's the other part of it.
yeah, assuming health, I think Bazan is up like June, and I think Caglione's like a September call up.
Yeah, I agree with that because I think Caglione he's a little more blocked position wise
Mm-hmm.
than Bazzara is. I mean, you could DH, but like Salvi's going to take a lot of those DH at bats. Vinny at first. Who's the backup catcher?
Is it Furman? Is he
So
a catcher?
Is Melendez still a
Yeah.
catch?
No, he only plays outfield now.
He plays outfield now. So
They
I
have
mean, maybe if
started to
if they're
throw.
comfy with Salvi like behind the plate a lot, then he's not as blocked. But if Salvi takes a lot of DH at bats, then I worry about that.
I think Salvi only plays like 50% behind the plate. So yeah,
Kind of what I'm thinking.
at most, Caglione's a
Yeah,
part-time player. They apparently they have started to throw him in the outfield. I don't think he'll stick there because he's gigantic, and he also is a
he is.
great fielding first baseman. He was elite at Florida at first base. Which I
Yeah.
mean, I saw this one play where he, basically ran into mid right field in foul territory and caught an over the shoulder catch. So maybe he could do it,
Maybe
but
play outfield. Yeah.
he's got a cannon. So I mean, he pitched, but we'll
Yeah.
have to see with that one. All right, move on to NL. Who's y'all's NL Rookie of the Year?
A little less creative with this one. I am extremely high on Dylan Cruz. I think he's going to come out and have a massive year. I think it's going to be like he takes the league by storm kind of year where like everyone's going to be talking about him. kind of like Jackson Merrill, like how he kind of like caught fire through the middle of the year, and then it was like okay, this guy's the real deal. I think Dylan Cruz has that kind of year.
Yeah, so mine's Dylan Cruz also. Yeah, I mean, man, I just think he's coming up in a perfect situation, man. This Nats team is gonna be so fun to watch, so fun.
I had Dylan Cruz written down, but we're gonna pivot. We are gonna go. I don't have a lot of Brave stuff in here, but we're gonna do it. Drake Baldwin's winning Rookie of the Year. Start opening day catcher for the Braves. Gonna have good protection in the lineup as well, so he's gonna get pitches to hit. He hit like 380 in spring, so I think he can do it. And I think honestly, legitimately, if he's like playing good when Sean Murphy's back, I think they get into like a little platoon to where Drake Baldwin is going to be playing consistently. He might not play, every day because the Braves like to like rotate a lot, which might hurt him technically to like Cruz and Matt Shaw. But I think he legitimately and especially too as a catcher as well. If you have a good rookie year as a catcher, you're more likely to win it.
Until we get Darno back.
No, I think if Baldwin shows out, which I think he will. Darno is sadly gone as much as I love him.
Yeah.
Did get Jesse Chavez back though, so we'll see what that
Saw
one.
that big news.
He's got to be on
Verdugo too. Like, how about that?
He's got to be on opening day roster. Chavez has to be.
Probably not. I don't think so.
No,
I think he'll start in AAA, but strictly because we got him so late.
Yeah, but he will be utilized. Trust me, he will be utilized at some point throughout the course of this year. There is no doubt about that.
He'll be in Atlanta 2 weeks into the season. I guarantee you that.
He'll start a playoff game. That's for sure.
The first time we have a doubleheader and we get that 26th
he's that 27.
Yeah,
he's that 26th. Yeah. For sure. I guess we can move on to Cy Young now. So, who is y'all's AL Cy Young?
Do you have the Cy Young odds up?
I do.
Per chance. I'm gonna go with Logan Gilbert this year. I don't know. I feel like every year he gets like a little better. Like it's just there's this kind of like baseline level he always performs at. I think the Mariners are going to be a better team this year. I'm pretty high on the Mariners this year. Not like win the World Series, but I think they're going to be competitive for a long time throughout the course of the year. And I can see him taking that next step. He's right around the age where you see it's like, okay, this is the year where it happens. They kind of take that next step over. So I'm going to go Logan Gilbert.
Yep. So I'm going to go. I'm going to go Garrett Crochet. Sorry, Will, if that's who you had. The one thing that does worry me a little bit is pitching at Fenway this year. Dude's an absolute dog, but that does scare me just a tiny bit. But I mean, dude was an animal with the White Sox. I think he's going to come over to the Red Sox and be even more dominant. He's surrounded by much better players now. He's got a better supporting cast, so I think he's going to make a run for it.
Yeah, as Nate said, I have Garrett Crochet as well. One guy, if he was healthy to start the year, I would smash it right now, is George Kirby. I love him to death. But shoulder issue coming in the year, might be some issues there. So I have Garrett Crochet as well, plus 400. Logan Gilbert is plus 1,200 currently. So pretty good value there.
Nice.
I think I think a Mariner can definitely win it. If he was healthy, mine would be George Kirby, but since he's not, I mean, Logan Gilbert's definitely got a shot. Don't mind Bryce Miller at plus 3,300.
I want to point out I picked the AL Cy Young winner last year in Scooble, so I think I've got a track record. If you're going to follow me anywhere, AL Cy Young seems to be like my hot spot. So just keep that in mind. Nothing else but AL Cy Young.
Yeah, we can do that. Now we can go over to NL Cy Young.
I'm going to go Zach Wheeler here. He's been so good, so consistently, so long. At some point, I don't know if he's the betting favorite. Is he up there betting favorite?
He's second right now.
Second. He's going to be in that. I feel like he's going to be in that top 5 every year. And so he's just, to me, he's just a safe bet. It's just like a model of consistency. So I'm going to go Zach Wheeler. Nothing fancy on this one.
Yep.
I also faced
So
him in high school, so that'd be, another notch on my belt. Like I faced a Cy Young winner.
I'm gonna go with the absolute obvious, probably for everybody. I'm gonna go Paul Skeens. I just don't know if there's. I don't see anybody beating him for it.
If he's healthy, it's Paul Skeens. That's what I have
Yeah.
as well. Sneaky picking Logan Webb.
I have him in another category.
But I think it's Paul Skeens for me, because I mean we saw it last year. He has made probably, I think he's made 11 starts, and he is already the best pitcher in baseball, which is crazy. I mean, like, if he's healthy, I don't see anyone taking it from him, because even with so say you put Skeens, like if he does what he does throughout the year, maybe even a little bit worse, but plays all year, Chris Sale's Triple Crown doesn't even beat him. So yeah, I think Paul Skeens legitimately will go Triple Crown, and we will have back-to-back Triple Crown winners. So yeah,
Bold take. Not that bold. I could easily see that happening. That could easily happen.
I mean, yeah, I think he had like a 1.9 ERA. He had I think 10 Ks per nine, and
And he's
then
added like 2 more pitches somehow. Like I don't even.
the one is the third one's wins, right?
Yeah.
The one thing that I could see him getting stopped is wins, because the Pirates aren't good. So we'll have
Yeah,
to see.
and he had like the Jacob deGrom syndrome last year, where he would sling it and they just wouldn't score any runs for him. So that is kind of like a concerning thing.
Yeah. What's crazy though is they wouldn't swing it, and he still didn't have a ton of L's. He'd get a lot of no decisions.
Yeah, there's a lot of NDs.
Yeah, he'd go 7 scoreless, and it'd be 0-0 after
Yep.
7. So
Yep. And then Bedard would ruin it.
yeah,
Or Bednard, yeah.
Him just throwing fastballs right down the middle.
Or 5 feet high, way out of the zone.
It's one or the other.
He's still a closer. I can't believe it. It's crazy.
We can move on to comeback player of the year. Who is y'all's AL comeback player of the year?
Mike Trout. It's happening.
Oh.
It's I would hope one of you two also picked Mike Trout.
I think we all 3 did.
I mean, this is I don't care. It is for the good of baseball that this happens. Baseball needs Mike Trout to be Mike Trout. I need it. I know you guys need it. When he is at the peak of his game, there is no one more fun to watch. He is him. I just want him, even if he doesn't have like an MVP type year, I just want him on the field and healthy for 140 plus games. That is like my one wish and desire.
Nate,
yeah,
Mike.
Yeah.
I think this is the year, because he's moving to right field, and I don't think he's gonna. I don't think Mike Trout's gonna ever get back to the 315 40 bombs guy. Can he do 250 40 bombs? For sure. I think that's what he does this year. He's going to play 130 to 140 games, and I legitimately think he hits 40 bombs in those, because I want to say he played 29 games last year. He had 10 home runs in 29 games. That's ridiculous. I want to say I think we were all sitting in the office watching opening day together, and he hit a home run. He was the first guy. He hit a home run in the first inning against the Orioles, I believe, last year. So
yeah,
hopefully he does it again. And this year he's going to stay healthy, and I do think the right field will help.
for sure.
I really hope
100%. 100% it's going to help.
Even if we get 120, I'm cool. He hasn't passed. He's only, since 2019, I believe, he's only played over 100 games once. And we need the GOAT of our generation to play more than 100 games. Please, yes. Baseball gods.
Yes, please, baseball gods.
Guess we can go over to now our dark horse for for the year.
Do we do AL NL for
Oh yeah.
comeback
I
player of
missed
the
that
year?
one. NL comeback player of the year. Probably all have the same one.
Probably you guys go first. Probably not. I bet mine's different.
I'll go first. Spencer Strider. I'm gonna stay with him.
Okay,
I
mine's
don't.
different.
Yeah, I don't think I have to go too
Mine is
much.
different.
I don't have to go too much into him because we've seen what he's done in the past. But I think he's gonna come back and be a dog. Nothing's gonna change. Not even skip a beat.
Mine is Ronald Acuna Jr.
He was my other one.
I had to get a
That's why I
Brave in there.
didn't pick him because I thought you guys were both going to do it. That's why I didn't pick him.
Yeah, that's why I had to get a Brave in there eventually. I tried to be unbiased, but comeback player of the year is not super important, so we'll get Ronald Acuna in there.
I am going to go Sandy Alcantara. I went a little outside of the box. And I think he comes back and like the velo's back, just in case you guys were wondering. So got to get him throwing competitive innings, and there's a ramp up process, obviously. But I think mid-season he ends up getting traded anyways, and he goes to a contender, and he makes a difference and helps that team make the playoffs. Comeback player of the year, Sandy Alcantara.
I may talk about him later.
We'll see. Guess we can move over to our dark horse. Did we want to do AL, NL of this one, or just full on just dark horse of this one?
For a lot of
I mean, I
these,
have
I just did one.
Okay, we can
Then
only
we'll
we
just
can
do
do
one.
just one. So who
Or
is
actually,
your
I can do two for this. I can do two.
okay AL dark horse player of the year? Go.
we had good luck me not going first, so someone else go first.
Nate.
Will, who's mine?
I guess
This man will make an all-star appearance this year, or at least have votes. I'm going to go with Ian Anderson going over to the Angels.
I love it.
Hey,
I love that.
I'm just saying, dude was really good before he got injured. I think he kind of just drifted away in the Braves organization with all the other guys that came up and passed him. But he's going to go get a fresh start out in LA. He's honestly going to be one of their better arms on the mound. We all know that. So I think, well, if Mike Trout gets hurt, I think it's 100% going to be Ian Anderson if they get one guy in. But
they have to get
yeah,
one guy.
that's what I'm saying. So I think he's
It'll
going
be
to go
Taylor
get
Ward. Mine is another guy who got moved over to an AL West team, and he's going to hit 35 plus bombs. He might not hit 230, but he's going to hit 35 plus bombs. Isaac Paredes, third baseman, replacing Alex Bregman over there. He's going to live in those Crawford boxes.
Mine is also a player that got traded. He got traded to the AL Central, is with the Guardians now. I am going to go with Nolan Jones. I think a change of scenery is like perfect for him. Someone with like kind of contending. I've been high on him since he like first came up in the league. I think it's a perfect opportunity for him to like kind of spread his wings with a new organization. All-star. Nolan Jones, all-star.
I mean, I think the Guardians could do wonders with him as well.
Because and you just said like they know how to hit, and that's like he has the park at Coors or whatever, but like the Guardians know how to hit. They have a great hitting organization. Not in terms of like they're never gonna have like the best like power team, but in terms of like contact, like spraying the ball to all fields, like just look at Jose Ramirez and what they turned him into. Part of that is him, understood, but the fact that he can do it from both sides of the plate and he plays kind of inside their system. If Nolan Jones can kind of play inside that system and do the same thing, he can be. I mean, he's talented enough to be that kind of hitter.
For sure. Nate, who's your NL guy?
Yeah, so for this, I'm going to go as like a dark horse to potentially win a Cy Young. I'm going to go with Michael King.
Okay.
I like that.
Dude is absolutely filthy.
He's disgusting.
He's disgusting.
Yeah, he carved the Braves. He carved us in the NL.
So
he's disgusting.
He's my little dark horse Cy Young winner.
Okay.
I like that. I actually love that. I love that.
Mine is a guy that I have mentioned multiple times. I even drafted him in our fantasy league and kind of reached. Luis Garcia of the Nationals. He's gonna hit 300. Go 2020. He was a rookie last year, and no one really talked about a guy that hits 280 with 20 bombs and like almost 20 bombs and 23 stolen bases, something like that. Which that's a pretty freaking good rookie year, and no one really talks about him. So I'm going to go Luis Garcia to be a very big contributor on a fun Nats team.
I am going to go with Nick Pivetta as mine. I think he is going to play a super important role on the Padres team, like kind of a stabilizing force in the middle of the rotation. He was kind of like a low key signing for them, honestly, but like his stuff plays at a pretty high level. I think as long as he stays healthy, he can really help them. 162, that's a lot of games, so they're gonna need, and they've already got like, I mean, not crazy injury concerns, but like it's already kind of happened as it's happening with a lot of teams around the league. So if he can stabilize them, I think he can have a great year.
Yeah, he's got to stay healthy and keep the ball out of the air. Pretty sure the thing in Boston was the home run ball.
It's a little more forgiving in the new park he's
Yeah,
playing
for
in.
sure.
A little bit
For
more
sure.
forgiving.
We can move on to manager of the year. Did y'all do a one for each one in this one?
I did.
I can.
But we don't have to do both.
No,
I
we
have
can.
one that I can pick.
I can swing it. I can swing it.
You can swing it. Okay.
Yeah. Just tell
So
me which one you want first.
AL manager of the year.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with a team that I think is gonna stand out. As one of the I guess you say, up and rising teams in the MLB, and I'm gonna go with the Tigers, man, with AJ Hinch. I love their rotation. I love their lineup, and I think they're gonna make some noise this year.
Okay, like that one. I am going to go in the same division. I don't know how to say his name. His first name's Matt. I know how to say that one. Quatraro. Let me know if I butchered that for the Kansas City Royals.
Sounds good.
I think I think they're going to win the division, win like 94 plus games, and he's going to get a manager of the year.
I like that. I am going to go to the AL West, and I'm going to go with Bruce Bochy for the Rangers. Bounce back year for the Rangers. Obviously, they were down last year, but I think kind of all the signs are pointing in the right direction, especially with like how the Astros are kind of like riding off into the sunset a little bit. I see them kind of going down a little bit. Rangers back on the way. I think it was like a postseason like hangover is what I saw last year from the. It's very hard to be like that good twice in a row. So I think they bounced back this year, and Bruce Bochy is going to be. I mean, he has a storied career and has a history of doing stuff like that. A lot of wins under his belt. So I think it'd be fun for him to win another.
For sure. Nate.
Yep. So I'm just gonna say the manager. Not gonna go deep onto the team because I will talk about them in I think a couple segments. I'm gonna go Terry Francona.
Okay. I'm going to go with a guy that we all know and love, Brian Snicker. He's going to get the Braves back up to 100 plus wins, and he's going to win manager of the year.
I was like just about to type him in, and I was like, you know what? Someone else is going to do that. Snicker's got great value, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
I looked up some odds. He's got fantastic value for it. So
plus
I love that.
900 odds. The Royals guys plus 1,300, even better value.
So I'm going to go with someone that doesn't have as high odds. I'm going to go Craig Counsell for the Cubs. I think they're going to be a playoff team this year, probably win the division. He's younger. I feel like he's been an underappreciated manager so far in his career, and he's really good at it. And I think he's going to the perfect spot, and I think they're going to contend. I like as much as any of these other ones. I would put money down on this one today, like Craig Counsell. Like I feel really good about it happening.
When I first was like got to this part to like when I was preparing, I was like, oh, Craig Counsell, and then I was like, that's kind of chalk. We'll go something
like
else.
Second, right?
I think when I looked, he was the betting favorite.
I thought it was Francona.
It might be.
I might have looked. I mean, I have different sites, and
let me see. Let me go back.
And it might be Counsell.
I was just going off Bovada.
Mine, they're first and second. I had Counsell and Francona. Right. They're basically one's plus 500, one's plus 550. So they're right
good
there.
Value.
Yeah, I think it's just because the race is kind of open in my eyes.
Yeah, this one is FanDuel. I've got Francona at 400 and Counsell at 420. They're basically tied.
Yeah. Guess we can move on to and this one will just be, full MLB from now on. I think we will go the surprise team of the MLB.
All right. So going back to what I said about Terry Francona, I actually think it's going to be the Reds, and they are going to win their division. I'm pretty sure I said that earlier when we were doing our division rankings and stuff. I think his managerial style is perfect for this team. He's got a lot of good weapons to use. I think the only downside is maybe a little. Their pitchers are not as experienced as I would like, but I think the Reds are going to get it done this year and win their division. So that's why I got Terry Francona.
Go ahead, Cam. Go ahead.
I am going to go with the Boston Red Sox. I kind of like what they've done. They're bringing up the young guys. The young guys are getting a chance to play. I always love when teams decide to do that. They always end up overperforming anyways because it's kind of like what we're going to see with the Nationals. I almost picked the Nationals too, like as kind of like a surprise like team that I think is going to do well. I just think the Nationals they're probably like a year or two away, and the division is impossible. So like the odds are like really stacked against them. But like same kind of format, the Red Sox have got some like really good youth. Obviously, Crochet like at the top of the rotation is like a massive pickup for them. I just think, I mean, I don't know if they win the division, probably not, right? But making some noise in September, I can absolutely see that happening.
I mean, with the Yankees falling apart, they could definitely win the division. So
Yeah,
mine, I wrote down one team. Then I looked at the standings. I was like, dang, they almost won 90 games last year, so there probably wouldn't be a surprise. I am going to choose the Nationals. I think them being 2 games under 500 or better is a surprise with how good the division is, and I think they can do that. I genuinely think they might go 2-3 games over 500 because they're going to
I
hit their way to
100%
some
agree with you.
wins.
I guess like it was like the context of like surprise, like, does that equate to they make the playoffs? Do they, are they making a run in September, or do they just like overperform? If they had mediocre expectations, they overperform those mediocre expectations. Because I definitely would have. I wrote the Nationals down because I had an AL and an NL one. I definitely agree with you there. I
And
think
that sort
they're
of,
going to be so much
yeah,
fun to watch, dude. They're
for
going to be
sure.
so fun to watch.
I'm gonna watch so many of their games, and for context of like the teams I think is gonna surprise and be super good this team just won 89 games and barely missed the playoffs. It's the D-backs. I just think they're gonna be good enough to make a run in September or October.
Yeah.
So I don't know if like people think they're gonna, I think they're gonna go to NLCS. That could be a surprise to some people, but I mean this team just barely missed the playoffs last year, so I don't know if they'd be so much
Yeah.
of a surprise.
I thought the same thing with the Rangers, like down year last year, but like they're not betting favorites, but like they're obviously like one of the top one or two teams in the AL West.
Yeah.
But I feel like a lot of people expected them to be good, kind of the same, like, but I think the Rangers would also count in that same category as well.
So now we'll just flip it. Now your most disappointing team in the MLB.
Y'all are going to enjoy this. I'm actually think it's going to be the New York Mets. I think they're going to underperform. I think they're going to underperform what people are expecting. And I think we've said it earlier. Is their pitching scares me, man. Their pitching staff really scares me this year.
I have the Mets.
Oh,
So I don't, yeah, I have the Mets
did not
too.
expect that.
I'm convinced that they're not going to be as good as people think they're going to be. I am pretty convinced. Just watching so far and like seeing kind of like how it's coming together, I am worried about them making it through September with the staff that they have.
I love it, and I really want it to happen. I don't think it does, sadly. I'm going to go with another team that I don't like as well. I think the Padres missed the playoffs.
Ooh.
I think they're gonna. I mean, they might not go be horrible, but would you say the Diamondbacks last year were a disappointment for missing the playoffs? I think so because they just went to the World Series the year before.
Yeah.
I think a similar thing could happen to the Padres. I do think they're a little worse than last year's Diamondbacks team, mainly because they're getting older. They showed some sign. A lot of players showed regression last year. That's what I mainly worry about. But we can move on to our flop player, a guy who has big expectations that may not live up to them this year? Nate, go ahead.
Man, y'all go ahead and get ready for this one.
Oh, God.
Y'all know who it's gonna be. So this guy, I'm not saying he's gonna be bad. I just don't think he's going to live up to the enormous expectations that people have for him. And I'm gonna go with Jackson Holiday. I think he's going to be good, but I don't think he's going to surpass and live up to the hype that people are giving him. You know, like how easily people were disappointed in him last year. You know, like
Yeah, he's got a little of the like that Bryce Harper aura.
yeah. And I mean,
where it's like the expectations are super high, and even
yeah,
if he's above average, it's not good enough.
and I can even see at some point this season him get sent back down to AAA.
Man, he would have to suck
He would.
for that to happen. He would have to suck. I think the leash is going to be fairly long.
I think you will
I
too.
mean,
But does it get too long? You know, like do they let it go too deep into the season if it does happen?
I don't know how
I
he's
think as
been this
long as-
spring. Yeah, so I don't
I
know.
don't either. As long as they're competing, if they're competing, then I think he's fine. But if they're not, like, let's say they like fall off early and there's like a long climb back up and he's really scuffling, I think he would get sent down in that type of scenario.
He'd have to be an obvious hole in the lineup.
Yeah.
Which is crazy because like a lot of AAA guys are good enough to play in the majors, and he was raking in AAA. Like that Orioles AAA team could win a World Series in 3 years because of all the prospects that were on that team.
What's crazy is
They're
there's
nasty.
2 or 3 guys that they could just say, "All right, Jackson, go down. I'm bringing up this guy." You know,
Their farm system's crazy.
it's yeah.
Cam, who's yours?
So I have two. One is, I don't know how disappointing he's going to be. I think anytime you like get signed and there's like some sort of expectation on you, like you leave room for that. I'm going to go with Gleyber Torres. He's my American League one. I think him playing around Javier Baez is just going to be the worst thing ever for his career. Like I just think it's like the worst example is going to be set in front of him, and I think his career trajectory goes exactly in line with Javi Baez, and there's just this massive fall off. That's the narrative I'm going to go with. I actually like seeing it. I'm like, it's actually kind of realistic. Just watching what happened to Javi as his career progressed, I can easily see it happening to like his next in line. The other one's Logan Webb. He is going to have a +4 ERA. Finally, this is the year. The hitters are onto him. They've seen him enough. They felt
He's been
bad
saying it
all
for
these
3 years, by the way, guys.
All these years. Glaber's like the real one, but there's room for this here. +4 ERA. He will have a 4 or higher ERA and lose more games than he wins.
Watch him win a Cy Young.
That will not happen. That will not happen.
Be absolutely hilarious. Mine is also a guy. I also have two. One is a guy that, you know, is getting up to the level of Logan Webb with Cam, and it's Julio Rodriguez. I think he's gonna struggle for the first 4 months.
We have like these. We just pick these players, and we have like the boldest ambitions about them. Like this dude is like a 5-tool player, and you decide like, no, I hate this freaking guy. And
It's
like
because-
Logan Webb has been like top 10 in the Cy Young for the last 5 years. No, he sucks.
See, but like Julio Rodriguez has legitimately sucked from April to July in every year but his rookie year. He legitimately has been horrible. And then he has a good 2-month stretch to close the year out, and everyone's like, "Oh, he's back to MVP form." And I'm like, slow down. The other one I think is a guy that's been overrated since 2018 or 2019.
Logan Webb. I know.
No, it's a guy who also signed with a new team this year is Alex Bregman. I don't think he's that good. He had a elite year in 2017. You know what he was also doing in 2017? Knowing what was coming.
Yeah,
he knew
banging on
exactly.
trash,
He knew exactly what pitch was coming. So that's why he was so good.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, he gets the green monster, which is basically kind of like the Crawford boxes, but I just don't think he's that good. I mean, like he's an above average player, but people say he's a top 4 third baseman. I just don't think he's that.
The one thing I will say is even if his like individual performance might be somewhat of a letdown, he is a fantastic leader and is already doing all of the right things clubhouse wise for the Red Sox. Like, I'll play any position, I'll hit anywhere in the lineup. I just want to help people win. Like, and that's how he was with the Astros. And he would have times like with the Astros where he was hitting like 220 and it was just like abysmal. But they did not stop winning games. Like, they kept winning games. And I think like there's stability in what he brings in terms of like that professionalism. So even if it's not him, you have like an aura that will positively affect the rest of the clubhouse.
That's one thing I'll never doubt with Bregman. He's a good locker room guy. That's 100%. I mean, he convinced everyone
But like
to cheat.
numbers wise, I'm totally with you. 100% I'm with you numbers wise. He just has like intangibles.
Yeah, I mean, like
that I think make him valuable.
For sure. I mean, it's kind of like, the maybe not to this level, but Guillermo Heredia. He was an elite vibes guy for the 2021 Braves. Was he that good? No.
Yeah.
But I guess we can move on now to our giant bold take for the year. What's going to happen this year? Nate, go first. I know I want to hear yours.
It's a little interdivision talk here. Sandy Alcantara will be a member of the Atlanta Braves.
Oh, God.
I hope so.
In a trade deadline. Blockbuster trade. Because listen,
I want it so bad. It's just
this could not be happier.
This is the way I look at it. A, the Braves could easily afford it. Don't care what anybody says.
They could.
B,
they could.
I don't know what the Braves would be willing to give up because we'd also be taking on however much he's owed. I don't know what the Braves would be willing to give up.
Probably not that much.
Yeah. I'm not sure. But I think we have some good arms Miami would want in return. And I mean, dude, it might even be giving up, I hate to say it, like a Smith Shawver, somebody like that, along with a few more prospects.
It'd be him or Waldrop.
That's what I'm saying. Or Waldrop. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Whoever. I think that's something that the Marlins would actually consider, considering what they're doing with their rotation already.
Anyone outside of Strider is like fair game for me.
Yeah, because I mean, perspective. You get rid of Alcantara.
Sandy.
Yeah, you get rid of Alcantara. Your next guy up to be your dude is Yuri Perez. He's a rookie. I mean, come on. Basically a rookie. So I could see them also adding some more on the back end, like the Waldrop, Shawver, and shoot, they can even have a hitter. I don't care. Pick. You can have Arcia. Really,
Nacho.
Nacho, yeah. Probably be Nacho.
Take Arcia. That's fine with me.
But I think that'd be a negative value to the trade. So,
no, for real though, I would not rule out the Braves making a push for him this year.
Now, I think that's bold, but I think it's within the realm of possibility.
Yeah,
like I could see something.
I mean, yeah, we went after Cease.
Yeah, like I think we're gonna go after like an upper echelon arm. We're gonna go after one of like someone's top arm.
It's just one thing is he will not overpay for an arm. 100%.
No,
that's one thing you won't do. I mean, because Cease was too expensive to him. So
if we're wanting to win a World Series this year, there's a good chance.
Also interdivision, so there is that too. Interdivision stuffer.
If you look at our arms now, do you have full 100% confidence we're going to make it through the season?
No.
That's
for me already.
That's what I'm saying.
You heard that for me already. No.
And I'm hoping
youth, man.
I'm hoping AA already has in his mind like we might need that veteran to come in mid-season, no matter what it costs.
I'm already convinced we're going to have to hit our way to the postseason. I'm already convinced we're going to have to do that.
Which I mean, I think we can.
We should.
That's what, and that's why I have us winning the our division. I think we can still do that. But I worry about playoffs and what the rotation, how it holds up, through September and into October. So someone like that would be vital to us.
Cam, what's yours?
The Yankees and the Mets missed the postseason.
Yeah.
I would love that.
New York teams.
Would love that.
Both New York teams missed the postseason. This is like less bold since, I mean, it's still probably bold, but like the Yankees are like falling apart right now. It's like tough to watch with all the injuries that they're amassing. And the Mets, we kind of talked about the Mets a little bit earlier. I can see them being a fairly disappointing team with what they lack in terms of rotation depth. I also don't like most of their hitters. Like I never have. They're just somehow have always been good. They've got a system that works well for them. Both divisions are super. There's a lot of talent at the top. So, and then there's also, the AL West. There's going to have 2, maybe 3 teams that are going to be vying for that, and they're probably going to have good records. The NL West is going to have 2, maybe 3 teams vying for that, going to have good records. I can see the Yankees and the Mets both missing out.
I love it. I would love to see that. Mine.
Is that bold enough?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Because I think both right now are like could win their division. So
Yep.
I mean, I think it's definitely bold enough. Mine might be a little too bold because I was looking at it, and right now in AL MVP and NL MVP, the closest one is 15th and 20th in the odds to win the award. A pitcher is going to finish top 3 in MVP voting.
I can see that.
You mean a PO, right?
I can see that.
Like a full-time pitcher.
Yeah.
A full-time
PO?
pitcher.
Okay.
Yeah,
Full time.
Nate, that was smart. That was smart, Nate.
I didn't think about Shohei because I don't think he's going to pitch all year.
That was a good call. We almost let that one slide.
I don't think he's going to pitch all year because he tore his labrum in the World Series, so I wouldn't pitch him at all. But a full-time pitcher.
It was his non-throwing, right?
I think so, but like I just don't want to risk it with a lot of movement out there. But I think it's bold, but a full-time pitcher will finish top 3 in MVP.
I like it.
So we can now move on to our division winners. We'll go AL and NL, like just full as a whole to kind of speed it up a little bit.
Let's go back to Cam first here.
Okay. We'll go.
For me to.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
AL and go like East, Central, and West division winners.
Oh crap.
AL East, Central, West.
Mm-hmm.
All right. This is AL East is the Orioles. The AL Central is the Twins. The AL West is the Rangers.
Okay. While Nate's pulling it up, I'll go ahead. Mine is in the East, I have the Yankees. I didn't go as bold. In the Central, I have the Royals winning it. And then in the West,
it's going to be a close race.
Yeah. In the West, I also have the Rangers. So we only agreed on one there. But I think the Rangers win this division. Great value on the Rangers
the AL
as well.
Central, that's what I saw too. The AL Central is going to be within 2 games, 100%, and there's going to be 3 teams like that are in the mix for it.
Yeah, for sure.
I know we've done this. Sorry, I just had to get pulled up what I've had in the past. All right, what order do you want them?
East, Central, West.
All right, so for the East, I have the Orioles. For the Central,
nice.
What?
He just said nice.
Okay.
I love your selection.
For the Central, I'm going to go with the Royals. I'm going to go with the Royals there. And then in the West, I went with the Rangers.
So we kind of just mixed ours.
Yep. And then we all had Rangers.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. So we'll go Cam now. NL division winners.
Braves in the East. Cubs in the Central. Dodgers in the West.
I have the exact same. Braves, Cubs, Dodgers.
That means it's probably not going to happen.
I have the same, except I have the Reds winning the Central.
Okay.
I think that's a good one, too. They're going to compete.
Yeah, for sure. And I did as well. I put all of my picks. Rangers plus 155, Royals plus 290, Rangers plus 85, Braves plus 110, Cubs plus 100, and Dodgers minus 700. All for a parlay value of plus 13,505.
That'll win you some coin.
Oh, yeah. $10 to win 1,300?
Perfect. You just have to be perfect.
Hey, in the NFL 2 years ago, I was going into the last weekend with a shot.
I remember that.
We need a lot to happen, but there was a shot.
Yeah.
So now we will go on to pennant winners. Who is going to win the AL, Cam?
I've got the Rangers bouncing back after a down year. I think the talent's there. It kind of goes into my Bruce Bochy narrative as well. I just think they had the hangover last year. I remember a couple teams doing this where they like deep postseason run, didn't even make the playoffs. The Red Sox did it one year, and then they like won the World Series like that following year. I can see the Rangers kind of doing something like this.
So I'm going to go with the Orioles. Now I know we've said before
Oh,
I know we've said their
that'd be
staff
fun.
is not quite where we want it, but I'm saying this hoping they make some good moves throughout this season.
That
I
would be
think,
fun.
dude, I think their staff is going to be very, very good through the All Star break. But when you get on the back end, it's how many of these young arms can go throughout the rest of the season into the postseason.
Yeah, it's
Um,
almost always the question.
yeah, that is the one thing that scares me. But man, like they're just too good, and they're in their window now. And well, they got a big window, but
Yeah, they got a big window.
They got a big window. I mean, they got a sliding glass.
It's like one of those big mural. Yeah, one of those big mural paintings in churches that you
But,
see.
Yeah.
But dude, and this is the thing is they're say a Max Fried, a let's just go with like a Sandy Alcantara, somebody like that, along with two or three Seth Lugos, guys
Sandy.
like him. Like
They could get a Sandy.
yeah, dude, they are
could see that.
so close to being one of the best teams in baseball by a long shot.
I could definitely see them doing that.
I mean,
They've got so much prospect depth too.
For
like,
sure.
I think
they could give anyone away and still be just fine.
I think the one thing the O's got to understand is hitting's a little different in my opinion than pitching. It's really hard to have a full homegrown pitching staff. You got it because you need the veterans. You need the veterans in the rotation. So I'm hoping
you
they
gotta
make
have a
that
horse.
move.
You gotta have a guy that kind of sets the tone.
Charlie Morton's not going to do it.
Probably not.
No, he's not. No.
Oddly enough, in the ALCS, I had the Rangers and Orioles. And I have the Rangers going to the World Series, winning the pennant.
Nice. Nice.
So now going over to the NL. Who's going to win the NL?
I don't want to say this, but I'm trying to be realistic. I think the Phillies are going to be so freaking good this year. And I think the Phillies are going to win the NLCS and play in the World Series. That like hurts to say, but I just realistically, like obviously the Dodgers is like the favorite pick to run it back, but like I said, it's really hard to make two like really deep runs in a row. Like it's really hard to like continue to do that. So I've got the Phillies this time.
So when I look at this, I think it's except in the O situation because their lineup, is just so explosive. Like I look at the rotations more than anything. Man, it's just hard to bet against the Dodgers in this situation because, like, say they got two guys go down, they got two veterans that come up. It's and I know their lineup's not all we'd want it to be, but I think, man, if their pitching stays healthy, I don't think there's anybody that can go toe to toe with them in the playoffs.
Nah, I mean, you're right. Like, I just go with like how baseball normally works. It's very hard for teams to go like back to back and make those deep runs.
Yeah.
Like it's just so hard to do. Like I feel like more so in this sport because there's so many games than any other sport. I just think it's like really hard to repeat performances like that.
So it's the Braves year.
And it is. That's what I got, the Braves. In my unbiased opinion, it's the Dodgers. But in my biased opinion, which is what I'm going with, it's the Braves. We're going to beat the Diamondbacks in the NLCS. Dodgers aren't even making it, or the Phillies.
The D-backs are going to make a run too.
I think they will.
Phillies finished below 500. No, I'm just kidding.
And I checked it as well. A Braves Rangers exact matchup is plus 6,500 for it to happen.
That's it.
A lot has to happen.
I know. I just said that's it, but that's it.
It was pretty low on the thing.
Who's like the highest? Is it Dodgers and Yankees probably?
Let me go back to it. Let's see.
Yankees had one of the best staffs in baseball, man, and that not no more.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Marcus Stroman. I think Marcus Stroman low key like broke Garrett Cole's arm while he was sleeping.
He might have poisoned him. He might have done something. He said, "They're moving me to the bullpen?" And now they're not.
Dodgers Yankees is the most, according to odds, is the most likely, and then it
I
goes
figured.
Dodgers Orioles after that.
Ooh.
So Nate's onto something there, maybe.
Yeah, that's a good selection, Nate.
All right, guys. So who is going to win the 2025 World Series?
I simply cannot allow the Phillies to I can't. It could happen, but like I cannot, in good conscience, like say the Phillies are going to win. Like I can't do it. So even if like matchup dependent, like the Phillies probably are a favorable matchup against the Rangers. Like they probably match up really good. The Rangers are still going to win because I can't allow the Phillies to win. So the Rangers are going to be World Series champions this year.
Give me the Dirty Birds from up north. Give me the O's with a huge, huge series win over the Dodgers in the World Series. Now, like I said, I had some pitchers for this to happen, but
That would be monumental.
It would be very fun, 100%.
dude, I mean, they got all the ingredients to do it, except
they got the bats for sure.
Yeah,
They definitely offensively for sure. They definitely have it offensively.
All right, you guys are both wrong.
Go ahead.
now realistic
Tell us
Dodgers.
the Braves are going to
Okay.
win this thing.
Now
Tell us the Braves are going to win this thing.
Realistic Dodgers.
Tell the people.
The
Tell
people.
Yeah.
The Braves are winning the 2025 World Series. It's happening.
Yes.
They're doing it.
One of us needed
This
to
is
say
Braves
it.
country. All the pennants right here. This is Braves country, man. Let's do it.
One of us needed to say it.
Let's do
Is
it.
it like imagine us having our podcast and none of us picked the Braves, and this happened to be the year the Braves actually win? Like that cannot happen. One of us has to pick that should be like an agreement. One
Full
of us should
delusion.
pick the Braves
I
every
still
year.
got the
Yeah, for
newspaper
sure.
framed up there.
I mean, it's not like they're going to be bad. Like they're clearly going to compete this year.
100%.
So yeah, someone's got to say it.
Jesse Chavez.
Is that the last category?
That was the last category of the day.
Just over an hour.
Yep,
Will.
just a little bit.
Tell the people what they need to do if they haven't done it yet.
Well, first, go ahead and put a future in. The Braves are winning the World Series. We all know it.
Absolutely.
Don't do that, please. Gamble responsibly. But yeah, follow us on Twitch. We went live on Twitch this time. Just we're gonna post this video over to YouTube as well at Hold the Line Sports. Let us know as well. We're thinking about just doing a strictly Braves podcast. Let us know if you guys would enjoy that, or if you guys still want us to do full MLB, or because we also really did enjoy doing college football as well. So let us know. But we could not be more excited for baseball to be back. I know I just renewed my MLB TV subscription. Gonna buy the FanDuel Sports to be able to watch the Braves for once, because they're not making us pay $120 a month to watch them. Love FanDuel for it. Shout out.
Also love T-Mobile. Shout out T-Mobile.
For sure. Free MLB TV right over there. Sponsor us.
Yep.
Yeah. Follow us on all platforms: Twitter, TikTok, Instagram. I know on Twitter, starting on Thursday, we're going to be doing a pick every single day for baseball. We'll get it rolling. We're going to see if we can have a record that would have made the playoffs.
Yes.
But yeah, that is all I had. Appreciate everything. Appreciate all you guys listening or watching on YouTube.
That is going to do it, y'all. Next time you see us, baseball season will be in full swing. I could not be happier about this. Next week, I feel like we'll do like a first impressions kind of episode. We'll have seen every team in action about five or so times, except for the Dodgers and Cubs. See them a few more, but I'm sure there will be plenty to talk about as we watch how the season begins to unfold. Thank you for watching, and we will see y'all next time.
Peace.